Finally, we came to the last video in this lecture series on significant figures. To illustrate what I'm trying to say here, let's recall one example from the previous video. Remember the boy who tried to measure the mass of his manisac? He discovered that his is 2.5 kg. But upon closer examination, is it really exactly 2.5 kg? Reading the scale closer, it looks to me that it could well also be 2.55 kg or 2.555 kg. It is rather difficult to tell exactly how much it weighs using this sort of weighing scale, isn't it? It will be much better if the boy is using a digital scale such as this one. By now, I hope you are able to guess where I am deriving this to. First, depending on your measurement device, an analog weighing scale versus digital scale in this case, you may end up with answer of different precision. And second, the more decimal digits you have in your answer, the more precise your answer is. Technically speaking, we have a jargon to refer to this idea of having more decimal digits, and that is called significant figures. In short, significant figures of a number are those digits that carry meaning contributing to its precision. The more significant figures a quantity has, the more precise our knowledge of that quantity. Also, to avoid confusion, one normally has to write the numerical value of the quantity at hand using scientific notation, such and such times 10 to the power of such and such, before counting the number of significant figures the quantity has. I will explain what I mean by this in the next slide. So, in what case a digit in a numerical value is considered significant or not? First, all non-zero digits are always significant. How about the zeros? Well, if the zeros are placed in between two other significant figures, they are also significant. The 0 in 409, for example, is significant because it is between 4 and 9 who are significant because of the first row. Another case where zeros are significant is when they are trailing decimal digits. The 0 in 2.0 is significant, so do the zeros in 2.00. Of course, there will also be cases when zeros are not significant, and this happens if first, there are trailing 0 in a whole number. 20 or 200 has only one significant figure which comes only from the digit 2. And 2, if the zeros serve as a space holding zeros in decimal numbers. 0.2 or 0.02 also has only one significant figure, which also comes only from the digit 2. The zeros are not significant in both cases. You may find this rather confusing. So many rows, so confusing. How can 0 sometimes contribute a significant figure and sometimes does not? Well, this is where rewriting the number using scientific notation, as I mentioned in the previous slide, helps. 20 can be written as 2 times 10. 200 can be written as 2 times 10 to the power of 2. Or 0.2 can be written as 2 times 10 to the power of negative 1. And 0.02 can be written as 2 times 10 to the power of negative 2. In this regard, it is now clear that the significant figures in those numbers are only the digit 2. The 0 at the back and at the front determine the power of such and such, but do not contribute to the numerical precision of the number. Okay, I know it is still confusing for some of you, so let's put some more practice. We want to count the number of significant figures in the following number. Let us include some units to the numbers to make it physical. 0.0075 kg, 10.0 second, 1500 meter, and 1.50 times 10 to the power 3 Newton, and stand for newtons by the way. How many significant figures are there in each of these physical quantities? Alright, these are the answer. First, 0.0075 kg has two significant figures. The significant figures comes from the non-zero digits 7 and 5. The zeros are not counted because they are space holding zeros. Space holding zeros are not significant, and this is clear if we are to write 0.0075 using the scientific notation form. That is 7.5 times 10 to the power negative 3. Next, 10.0 second has three significant figures. The significant figures come from the digit 1 and the zeros, who are trailing behind as decimal points. 1500 meters has two significant figures. The significant figures come from the digit 1 and 5. the zeros are not counted because there are trailing zeros in the whole number. Also, if you write 1500 in its scientific notation form, that is 1.5 times 10 to the power of 3, it clearly carries only two significant figures. Lastly, 1.50 times 10 to the power of 3 is already in scientific notation, and it carries three significant figures. The zero in this case contributes significantly because it is a trailing zero in decimal points. Okay, if you still find this confusing, pause this for a while, let this example sink in, and if you're ready, let's move on to the next slide on how to keep track of significant figures in mathematical operation. We have learned how to count significant figures in a physical quantity, but in physics, we will definitely operate one quantity with another. For example, upon measuring the length and the width of a surface, we are interested to find out the area or the length to width ratio of that surface. So what happens when two physical quantities with different significant figures are multiplied or divided together? Well, in such case, the final answer should have the same number of significant figures as the quantity with smallest number of significant figures. Okay, that's again sound confusing. So let me try to make it clear using example. Say you are multiplying 25.57 meter to 2.45 meter. 25.57 carries four significant figures. I think that should be pretty clear. Whereas 2.45 carries three significant figures. So the quantity with least number of significant figure is the 2.45 meter. If we now multiply them, feel free to use calculator, your calculator will give you 62.6465, which has six significant figures. Of course, mathematically that's a perfectly correct answer. But physically, they do not make any sense. Remember, these significant figures imply our knowledge of precision of the quantity. If your measurement of length and width are only precise up to 2 decimal places at most, how can we then know the areas are precise up to 4 decimal places? No, it doesn't make any physical sense. So you have to reduce the number of significant figures in your answer to 3, which is the number of significant figures in 2.45. Remember, just now we established the fact that 2.45 is the quantity with least number of significant figures. Hence, instead of 62.6465, the right answer, which takes proper account of the significant figures, is 62.6 meters square. 62.6 carries three significant figures. How about addition and subtraction? Well, the idea is similar. You are not meant to introduce extra precision in your calculation. It does not make any sense to come out with more precise result from mathematical operation of two or more less precise physical quantities. However, instead of keeping track of the significant figures in the quantities, in addition and subtraction, you are to keep track the decimal place. The final answer should have the same number of decimal places as the smallest number of decimal places in any term in the sum. For instance, here we would like to add 135 cm to 3.251 cm. The former carries no decimal place, whereas the latter carries 3 decimal places. Your calculator will give you 138.251 cm, but this again does not make any physical sense because you do not know the precision of the 135 cm quantity in 3 decimal places. Hence, your answer is limited by the precision of this quantity. The right answer is 138 cm. It has no decimal place. From 62.6465 to 62.6 meters square, or from 138.251 to 138 cm, this involves rounding off numbers. I'm pretty sure that you guys are familiar with these first two and most obvious rules. Anything that larger than 5, round up, and anything that is smaller than 5, round down. But what happens if the last digit to be dropped is exactly 5? Well, in that case, the wisdom is to round the retained digit to the nearest even number as given in the examples. In any case, please heed this advice. Round off only numbers which result from the final stage of your calculation. Rounding off an already rounded numbers, if done multiple times, may result in accumulated round-off error. It is thus recommended for you to work out the computation with as many significant figures or decimal places as possible, and when finally you are ready to present your answer, look at the quantity with least number of significant figures and or decimal places, and round off the answer accordingly. Yup, this is the end of this lecture series on quantities and units. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to email or message me via Hangout.